What's up, YouTube? Budget Gaming here, and as you guys can see, I'm missing some games on my shelf. And the reason is, I'm going to be going over all the games that I beat in 2020. So 2020 has been kind of a crazy year for pretty much everyone. But yeah, it started off just pretty much like any normal year. And you know, while I started off the year, I was in the Army. And I didn't have as much free time. As things progressed, I got a medical retirement. Now I have a lot more free time. So I've been trying to finish as many games as I could in 2020. And yeah, I just wanted to go over which games I beat. Now, I think it was around 62 games in 2020. And I know this because I keep a list. Ever since like 2007, I've kept this list. It used to be handwritten, then I transferred it to a Microsoft Word document, and then that's been pretty much my entire list since 2010. Has just been on a Microsoft Word document, and I've updated that every single time that I beat a video game, so it's fairly accurate. So I pulled off the games on my shelf that I had. There's a few physical copies that I have that are still in storage that for whatever reason they just weren't in the boxes of, you know, PS4 games and stuff like that. But this is pretty much everything except for the digital games. Fortunately, I can't really showcase those. At least not yet. Maybe in the future we can with a capture card, but just a quick video, you know, quick summary of 2020. Starting off 2020 was this game. This is the first game of 2020 that I beat, and this is a Japanese import. It's a visual novel. It's supposed to do with baseball. When I played through it, you know, I think it had like one choice in the entire game, and it really had nothing to do with baseball. But you know, it had a different appeal, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty much the reason I think that game sold. It definitely had an appeal for a very specific target demographic. And you know what? I would recommend it to that target demographic. Moving on, we have the third birthday for the PSP. Now, this was one of those games that, like, I kept seeing. I remember when this game came out on the PSP, and you know, and this is a complete copy as well. I got this pretty cheap as far as I remember. But yeah, I remember when this game came out, and then it kind of became a little bit of a harder game to find for the PSP. But I finally got around to buying it and beating it in 2020. Moving on, this is one of my favorite games of 2020 for me. Actually, I think it came out 2018 or 19, but I got around to playing it in 2020. That is Yakuza Kiwami 2. Now, I beat Yakuza Kiwami in 2019. In 2020, I beat Yakuza Kiwami 2. Now, unfortunately, I really don't think I beat any more Yakuza games since this. And that's kind of a shame because the Yakuza games are just so amazing. I highly recommend the Yakuza games. It was my goal to stream Yakuza 0. Now, I don't know if you guys are following, but there was a recent law. I don't know if it passed or not, but it was basically making DMCA copyright violations a felony in the United States. So, you know, the future of streaming on this channel is kind of up in the air. I want to wait, see what's going on with that law, see what they're actually going to be doing with that. Because I mean, it's just like one of those things it's just ridiculous. It really is. Like, it doesn't need to be a felony. Like, you know, I could see maybe a misdemeanor, but a felony, come on, that's just kind of ridiculous. Especially like, you know, when you're streaming a video game, no one's really losing out on any money. You know, if anything, you're giving the game free publicity. But that's just my opinion. Of course, lawmakers and politicians, you know, they're the wonderful people that they are, and they pretty much decide which rules to follow. But moving on, we have Monster Hunter World. This was a game, man, this was a fun game. I had a copy, got lost sometime in the move, and then right around the time I was moving, or getting ready to move, packing up, you know, because I started packing up in like February. I retired, like got my medical retirement in like June, but I was already packing up in February. Anyway, I bought this because I couldn't find my copy. Still can't, somewhere in storage, but bought that and I played it with some friends, and I absolutely love that game. It's great. It was definitely a big improvement in the quality of life from the other Monster Hunters, because I tried to play some of the other Monster Hunters and I just couldn't get into them. Not like this. This one was very easy to pick up, very fun. Playing along with friends was a great experience. All right, now this was the first Nintendo Switch game that I beat, and that is Pokemon Sword. Now I wish I could say that I absolutely love this game, but yeah, the Pokemon franchise kinda is getting a little too, you know, weird for me. I guess, you know, like I'll play some really weird games, and this is by far like not the weirdest at all. But yeah, I'll play some weird games. For whatever reason, like I just miss the simplicity of Pokemon Red and Blue. You know, I really miss that simplicity. This is not, it's not weird, complex. This is too complex for me, for my enjoyment. Like I really miss the classic retro style Pokemon games. You know, that was perfect for me. And yeah, as the Pokemon games have been getting more complex, more advanced, I've just been enjoying them less and less. Still, you know, I got a Nintendo Switch. This was the first game that I think I picked up for it, and I was like, yeah, like, I mean, it's the game that everyone got the console for, I think. At least that or Shield. Moving on. Next game we have Jumanji, the video game. Now, I'm still trying to get the platinum on this, and it's not a very hard platinum to get. It's just a very boring platinum to get. So I'll maybe put in like an hour a month at this game, but it is not a fun game. I do not recommend this game at all. Maybe if you want to play a really bad game. I streamed this game. It was a series that I called Game Torture, and we'll probably continue on with Game Torture. You know, again, depending on what the laws are and what, you know, enforcement they're going to do, because I think that's ultimately the thing is, even with COPA was a big thing when I was just starting on YouTube. Obviously, it really didn't impact a lot of people, but it had the potential to, and that's the very, very antithesis of the thing. That's the most important part, is it has the potential. Depending on how it's enforced, it has the potential. And, you know, it's like, I really don't like when things are up to just basically, hey, this is a law, are we going to enforce it or not? No, it should either, if you're not going to enforce it, don't make it a law. If you are going to enforce it, it should be something serious, you know. But anyway, I'm digressing. That's a topic for another video. Aerial Life, this is another game that, yeah, it has a certain appeal for a very certain demographic. And if you're interested in that, you know, no problem with that. But yeah, it's a visual novel, again, very, very interesting. I didn't understand anything going on in it because I don't speak Japanese. That was part of my Hello Japan series. And again, don't speak Japanese. I just wanted to play some Japanese games. All right, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh man, this is a great game. So 2019, I beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. And when when I was in El Paso. I found this at a pawn shop, I think for like 10 or 15 bucks. It was very cheap, very, very cheap. And, you know, I definitely picked this up, played it, had a lot of fun with it. But, you know, towards the end, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go and rush to beat Ganon, because I've done everything in the Wii U version that I could, or at least everything that I wanted to. I did in the Wii U version. So I didn't even free all the Divine Beasts. Like, I skipped some of them, and I just kind of went straight to Ganon. Well, at least I think I skipped the one on Death Mountain. All right. Another Legend of Zelda game, Lynx Awakening. Oh, this brings me back. Now, one of my favorite games on the Game Boy was Legend of Zelda Lynx Awakening. I remember going into the mall with my dad. They had a GameStop. It was either a GameStop or an EB Games in the mall. And he like, very rarely did my dad ever buy me video games, but he caved in when I asked, and he bought me Legend of Zelda Lynx Awakening for the Game Boy, and I absolutely loved it. I got stuck on it for a very long time. Eventually I beat it. I was so happy when I did. And then yeah, I got to re-experience a lot of that stuff from my childhood in this game, and I absolutely loved it. It was a great game. All right, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So this I beat around May, and that, yeah, it was the May time frame. So I had moved back to Illinois around May 1st. It was like right around the time of my birthday. And didn't have a lot of video games. I had my PS4 and my Switch, and that was about it. For a few days I was crashing at my parents' house before I was going to be looking for homes to buy and all that. And then kind of fell into, hey, I have a buddy that, you know, needed a roommate. One of my friends moved out. Now he needed a roommate, and I was like, hey, you know what? You know, I can help you out, pay a little bit of your rent, you know. So that's kind of how I got here. But for a while I was, you know, just crashing at my parents' house, waiting to look into buying a new home, and settling down. So I really only had my PS4, my Switch, not a lot. Played this like a little TV in my parents' living room, finished it up, had a lot of fun with it. It was a great story, got the platinum, and yeah, I've been playing it on and off, not for the story, mostly for the multiplayer. Play that with some friends every now and then, but it's a fun game. All right, Katamari Damacy Reroll. So yeah, I remember this was another one that I beat in my parents' living room while I was playing on the Switch. And it was just like one of those things, like I was bored out of my mind for, you know, like I think it was like a week that I was staying with my parents, and I was just like so bored. It's like, oh man, there's nothing to do here. They don't have the internet. They don't really have TV. My mom just listens to the radio and stuff like that. So I was playing Katamari Damacy Reroll. Have a lot of fun with this. This is just such a great game. I love the Katamari Damacy games. They're just great. Like I didn't play the original one on the PS2 for so long, and then I had played, I think it was on the PS3. Yeah, I played it on the PS3 because they released it for the PS3. And yeah, I played it and I was like, wow, this is so fun. So yeah, I definitely went back and played the original on the PS2, and of course, Reroll. All right, now, final game that I beat in my parents' living room was Red Dead Redemption 2. So I was streaming this for a little bit, I think, and yeah, I just really didn't have a lot of time at that point. Like, again, I was looking for a home. You know, I was I was helping a friend move out of state after I just moved into the state. So didn't have a lot of free time, but yeah, I managed to at least finish the main story on this. It was a great story. Definitely love both of the Red Dead Redemption games, and I highly recommend them. All right, Hidden Agenda. This is a great party game. Like, It was a very cheap game when I bought it. I don't see these in the wild anymore, so who knows? It could have gone up in price. But yeah, this was a great game. Although me and my friends kind of called the the killer. We kind of knew who was the bad guy, and it was just kind of the way that the person acted. So we weren't really surprised at the end, but it was a great experience. We had a lot of fun. Because I remember I was like, yeah, let's get it together, play a video game, and that was the one that came to mind. Another YouTuber had recommended it, is Professor Joe Casey. So we took up his recommendation and played that. All right, now Bloodborne. This was probably one of my favorite games of 2020, or at least 2020 for me. Yeah, again, because I had not played this, when it came out. Because this was, I think, it was, if not a release title, it was like one of the first PS4 games, as far as I remember. But yeah, this was a great game. I had a lot of fun playing this. We did a plat chat on it. Definitely check that out. All right, moving on. We have Star Wars Squadrons. Star Wars Squadrons. Oh man, if you tuned in and watched me stream this, that was a miserable experience for me. Like, it was not fun at all for me to stream this game because I was playing on the hardest difficulty. And even worse is there was a glitch. I don't know if they've patched it, but there was a glitch where if you shut down your game console, you closed out the software for this game at all, guess what? You had to replay those levels to get the trophies at the end. So I beat this game on the Ace difficulty, which at the time I think there was maybe like 15 or 16 players ahead of me, at least on PSN profiles that had finished it. And it was not fun. Like, I would get killed and killed and killed, fail mission objective after mission objective. And then I played it on the standard difficulty. Had so much more fun playing it on the standard difficulty. So, I maybe will eventually go back to that. I don't know if I'll try to platinum that, just because there seems like to be a few of the online trophies that might be a little annoying. I forget, there's like one trophy that I was like, man, I don't like doing that particular maneuver. I forget what it was, but it was like a maneuver that I just didn't like doing, and it's like, hey, get 50 kills while doing that maneuver, and I was like, oh man, that's gotta be annoying. Blair Witch. So this is still sealed because I downloaded the game. But yeah, so this was Lionsgate Games. Yeah, I don't see a lot of Lionsgate games. I see a lot of Lionsgate movies, not a lot of Lionsgate games. Anyway, this was a very fun experience. It's weird because the main character in it has the same last name as me. I think he is a Army veteran as well. I don't know what his rank was. I don't remember if he was a sergeant or not. But this was an interesting game. Very, very scary in some spots. I would definitely recommend giving it a try. All right, Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PSP. Now this was one that surprised me. Like, I could not believe that I had not beat it. So I checked my list because I had picked up this copy. I was like, I swear to God, I had it. I had played this before. Guess I didn't beat it. So picked up a complete copy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out, play it. And yeah, I was like, I have to go through. Now it has like kind of like 3 campaigns, so I went through, played the campaigns. I forget what's the. Does it say on here? No, just yeah. So Rebel Raider, Imperial Enforcer, and Rogue Assassin. So 3 different play styles that you can go through for like a story. Not as good as the Battlefront 2 on the PS2, but I would definitely recommend it if you're collecting for the PSP. Raging Loop for the PS4. Now, Raging Loop. You know what? I think Raging Loop might have been one of the first games that I beat for the Switch, which I don't know. It might. It's on my shelf. You know what? You guys are gonna see it. You know, on the shelf. But pretty much same cover, just in a Switch case. I don't remember if I beat that in 2019 or 2020. Either way, great game. Like, absolutely love it. It's a visual novel. It has branching routes, but it's kind of linear. Yeah, this great story. Like, I absolutely love it. I really want to get together with some friends, like with like 10 friends, actually 11 friends, and try to do a Raging Loop version of Among Us. That would be really cool. Because it's kind of has like a similar thing. Like, there's imposters, and you have to vote them out. Now, of course, it's different. But yeah, like, I definitely could see, like, if you had like a mediator and stuff, and a group of friends that are willing to abide by certain rules, that you definitely could play through a mediator and have like a Raging Loop Among Us game. Alright, moving on, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for the Wii. Oh man, this was not a fun experience for me. I don't like the Wii controls. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the Wii controls, like the motion controls. It's not for me. So it was definitely an experience trying to play for the Wii, for even a game for Modern Warfare 3. Like, I've played it on other systems. I beat it on PS3. Yeah, just it wasn't for me. But like, once I started, I was like, okay, this is not that long of a game. I'll power through it, and I did. So that way I could put it on the shelf. And moving on, we have Mario Kart for the Wii. Again, this one, you know, is just Mario Kart. You know, everyone loves Mario Kart except for me. The only Mario Kart that I absolutely adore is Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. That's the best Mario Kart, hands down, for me. Like, that's my childhood right there. Mario Kart Wii, like, it was just one game, you know, too late in the series for me. Because yeah, I don't have nostalgia for the Wii, because I didn't really have a Wii. I bought a Wii as an adult, so yeah, so the Wii, maybe if you did grow up with Mario Kart Wii, you know, I'm sure that's got some nostalgia. The one for me is Mario Kart Double Dash, though. Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles, man, this was fun. I was getting my butt kicked in this, and I felt so dumb because I had gone through the game and I didn't level up anything, so I didn't even know that you could level up your weapons. I just completely forgot that you could do that. So I was like, man, I'm getting my butt kicked. Why can I not finish these levels? Sure enough, I figured that out, and I had a much better time. Alright, 11/11 Memories Retold. So if you guys tuned in for my live stream of this game, it's a very story-driven game, but it's very different. It's got a very unique art style, as you probably can tell. And yeah, it's not a game for everyone. The story is wonderful, very, very beautiful story. Very sad story too. Especially some of the endings were more sad than others, but like even I think even the good ending, I was like, man, I still don't feel 100% great about this. But yeah, it was a great experience playing this game. And I was like, you know what, I want to import it, because they don't have physical copies here in the United States. So I imported this. I ordered it off of Amazon, and yeah, it was great. So I'm glad to add that to my shelf. All right, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So I have to apologize, guys. I was streaming this for a while when I was living in El Paso, and I just wasn't really having fun. And I decided to come back to it without streaming, and I had so much fun. This was a lot of fun, and it was, I think, because when you're streaming a game, you kind of have that, like, you know, okay, I gotta go do exciting stuff. There's a lot of exciting stuff in it. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, like, if you want to customize things, if you want to really explore, that's not really very entertaining. Or at least I didn't think it was entertaining. So I didn't do that when I was streaming. I did a lot of that when I was playing on my own. So I definitely had a lot of fun with that. I'm glad that I finally finished that. All right. Deal or no deal for the DS. It's deal or no deal. All right. Mario Party for the DS. So yeah, this is kind of when I was like getting into like, hey, I got to finish some of the handheld games. So this was like, you know, I was kind of in the mood to play Mario Party. Unfortunately, this doesn't really feel like Mario Party because you're not really playing against friends. I guess you could play against friends, but no one really plays the DS with friends anymore, as far as I know. All right, Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron. This is a weird one. Like, I've played Elite Squadron for the PSP. This is a completely different game. Like, you play as clone brothers in this, and they're clones of a Jedi, and that was really cool. Like, I was very surprised. Like, it just blew my mind. Like, completely different from the PSP game. Like, I would definitely recommend trying it out. I had a lot of fun with it. There we go. Let me speak right. Enemy Territory Quake Wars for the Xbox 360. Now this is, well, no, it's an okay game. When it came out for the PS3, I absolutely loved it, because I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. So I wanted to play it through on the Xbox 360, but I was kind of rushing, just because it's like one of those games that I already beat. So I was just wanting to go through on a different console, see what it was like. But I have a lot of nostalgia for that, because about 6 or 7 months after I got my PS3, I got the Yellow Light of Death. So I couldn't play any of the disc-based games. And of course, I wasn't working, my parents didn't have credit cards or anything like that, not even debit cards. So pretty much buying games digitally wasn't a thing for me. And of course, growing up, I didn't have the internet. So I would take my game console over to friends' houses. Actually, it wasn't the Yellow Light of Death. It was the Blu-ray drive went out. So completely different issue. Yeah, Yellow Light of Death, yeah, that console's gone. Blu-ray drive went out. So anyway, so I could play downloaded games. Couldn't play any of the disc-based games. Nothing with a Blu-ray. So basically I could download demos. And one of the demos that I downloaded and would play over and over again was Enemy Territory Quake Wars. It was interesting. It was fun. Back then, yeah, there were not a lot of great demos. There was a few. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a lot of great memories playing demos on PS3, because for a while, at least for a few months, that was all that I could do on the PS3, and it was so disappointing. But yeah, I eventually got it repaired, and then I think, yeah, a few months after I got it repaired, I got the Yellow Light of Death. Had to get that repaired, and then I got that repaired. And I think that system finally died in Korea for me. So, it served me well, but yeah, that was a weird experience. Anyway, let's get on to the final few games I beat in 2020. Soul Calibur 4 for the Xbox 360. So these Xbox 360 games, I just bought an Xbox 360 from a thrift store around here. They just opened up. The guy gave me a great deal on an Xbox 360. It's like the Xbox 360 Slim. So he gave me a great deal, and I definitely appreciated that. And I was just like, hey, I want to go through some of the quicker games to beat. That's why I chose Enemy Territory Quake Wars, because I was already familiar with it. Soul Calibur, I just played through a few of the fighters, had fun with that, but I didn't finish every fighter's route. But yeah, had some fun with that. All right, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the PS4. Again, this one is sealed, and that it's sealed because I downloaded the game. So with limited run games, anything that's by limited run games, I generally don't open it unless the disc is shaking around in there. That's the only thing that bothers me from limited run, is if the disc is floating around in there loose. I really hate that. I wish there's a way to prevent that. But yeah, so any limited run game, like, I generally keep sealed. But yeah, I downloaded it, had a lot of fun, got the platinum on that. Is great. A lot of nostalgia for that game as well. So, all right, Pokemon Heart Gold. Yeah, Pokemon Heart Gold version. So if you guys remember, a few months ago, I got a Nintendo DS lot and a Game Boy Advance lot. This was in it, so I decided to go through it. Now I'm talking to a few people about getting a case for this, because there's a few people, either friends or some YouTube commenters, a few people have reached out. So this is probably going to get boxed up in a case in a few weeks, depending on who will give me the best offer on it, because or best deal on the case, because I don't want to spend too much on the case. I know the cases can go for a little bit of money, but like I said, there's a few people. I got a close friend of mine that had the game for years and years. He doesn't know what happened to it, but he has the case. So I might end up, taking the case from him for, maybe $10 or so. All right. Terminator Resistance, the PS4. Now this is the UK import. This was from GameStop. So on my pickups video, I showed the sealed one that I imported. This was one that I got from GameStop. I had to argue with the guy at GameStop, because he's like, this is defective, it won't work in your PS4. And I was like, dude, I import games like all the time. Like I've imported Japanese games, they work. Imported this, or well, I didn't import this personally, but bought it, played it, got the platinum on it. It works fine, so. But yeah, the guy just would not want to sell it to me. He's like, it won't work on your PS4. Like, he even Google searched it. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, it works. It works. But played it through it a few days ago, back in 2020. And yeah, I got the platinum on it. 12 hours to get the platinum. But, ultimately it was fun. All right, moving on to the last game of 2020, we have Dark for the Xbox 360. So Dark for the Xbox 360 it's about vampires. It's interesting, but I kind of rushed through it. I was not playing this very well. It's supposed to be a stealth game. I really sucked at the stealth in it, but it ultimately it was fun. It was a very unique game. I would ultimately recommend it if you can find it for cheap. All right, there we go. So those are the games that I beat in 2020. Let me know what you guys beat in 2020. Of course, that's not everything that I beat in 2020. I got another 31 games or 30 games that I beat that were digital. Some of those were longer games. Most of those were shorter though. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate everyone for staying this long. It's been 30 minutes of me just rambling on about gaming in 2020, my memories, my nostalgia. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. And I want to dedicate this video to a legend that we lost in 2020, and that's Dr. Josh, the Real Gamer. Now, he was a friend of mine pretty much ever since I created my YouTube channel. He was, locally from Chicago. So, I mean, we're close, because I'm, northern suburbs of Chicago. And, I had retired from the Army. He was one of the people that I was really hoping to reach out and hang out with, in the Chicagoland area. But yeah, he passed away in July. Like, I had retired in June. Like I said, I got here in May from, on my leave, on my terminal leave. I was just kind of settling down, and then I heard the news that he had passed away, and I was just heartbroken. So yeah, this year's gaming memories I want to dedicate to Dr. Josh, the real gamer. All right, guys, take care, and if you can, stop by Dr. Josh's channel. His dream was to have 2,000 subscribers. If we could get him there, that would really mean a lot to me. He's been losing a few subscribers since he passed away, so he's maybe 200 away from 2,000. If we can get him there, that would be great. But yeah, guys, take it easy, and as always, be a gamer for life. Take care.